Danganronpa Spoilercast.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Danganronpa Spoilercast, or Danganronpa 2 Spoilercast. This is Chapter 2, because Daniel finally finished Chapter 2 and 3.
Yes, I
But
did.
this episode will be focused on Chapter 2 of Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Now, this won't take as long as the first one, hopefully, because we went over the characters the first time.
Yep.
Alright, so, do you know the name of this chapter?
I never pay attention to that part, honestly.
Okay, well, if you want to know the name of the chapter, go look it up, but it's Chapter 2, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it matters to me too.
Alright, so, I don't know, what do you want to talk about first in regards to Chapter 2?
I know at the start of the chapter, after they finally got done with their executions and stuff, I do remember when they end up meeting up again in the restaurant like they always do at the beginning of these chapters so far.
Yeah.
They start smelling something really bad. Like, what is that stench?
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I remember. I know you're going to this. Okay.
But the thing is, at first, of course, Nekomaru being like the best character, obviously has to like laugh about it, and they think it's his breath that stinks, and he's just laughing about it, like, you got me there.
Yep.
And but
no, that's not it.
But that's not what it was. Yeah.
It was. Well, you say her name.
Hiyoko.
Yeah, it's Hiyoko. She stinks, literally.
Stinky.
Yeah, because she doesn't know how to tie her kimono or whatever that thing's called.
Yeah.
And so she didn't take a shower or whatever.
Yeah. Apparently, she hadn't been taking a shower because she can't really like retie her sash on her kimono.
Yeah.
So she had a hard time with it, so she just didn't bother.
Yep. This is where she becomes attached to Mahiru because she offers to show her a tie or whatever, and then they take a shower together or some bullshit. Whatever.
Yeah, and of course I think Soda's over there like, oh my gosh, they're taking a shower together.
Yeah.
Because he's a pervert.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Damn it, Calber.
It's not his fault. He didn't write the game.
I know, but he does it really well. I don't know.
He does it really well. Okay.
He does it good in the voice.
All right. So, what? Okay, so after that,
I think they find out. I think they find out that Monami ended up defeating one of the Mono Beasts.
Yes, Monami defeated somehow. Well, I guess you can fight them in a separate mode. Have you unlocked that yet?
Not yet.
Well, there's a separate mode you can do, and you can fight them as Monami. But I never played any of it.
Is that magical girl?
Yeah,
Monami thing?
yeah.
I have it unlocked.
Yeah.
I just haven't tried it.
It looks stupid. I tried it once, and I was like, "It's dumb."
I'm gonna take your word for that.
But anyway, she fought one of the Mono Beasts, and now they have access to a second island.
Yeah, and so that's where the plot really starts picking up, was when they get to the new island.
Yeah. So tell me what's on the new island.
Well, I do know there's a library.
Yep.
And that's where you find some more stuff out about Sonya,
yes.
Which I think is pretty cool. She seems to find an interest, like, practically almost crushing over, like, the fact about these serial killers she reads about in books.
Yep.
It's so weird.
She's weirdly into the occult and all this hardcore serial killer stuff or something. I don't know. Somewhere like that, there's references to genocide, Jill, or whatever the fuck you want to call her.
Yeah, there's some killer that they read about. That's what it was, yeah. That was probably one of the important spots, but I think the most important thing I remember them finding is they found these ruins.
Yeah.
And
those ruins look familiar to you?
They really do.
I know you only saw the anime, but what are these? What do you think these ruins are?
I believe it was the high school.
Hope's Peak Academy.
Hope's Peak Academy. Yeah, that's it.
Or Kibogamani, or whatever you guys who only do the fan translations, whatever they called it.
Yeah. Now we'll probably talk more about this, in Chapter 3, because I believe we find more out about it then.
Sure.
But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Monokuma comes up because I think when you go to inspect it, they see like this weird futuristic like door, and like, what is this?
Then it has these two characters on it that say Mirai on it, which is Japanese for future.
Yep. And I believe at this point they start telling you about the World Ender organization.
Oh right, I forgot about that stuff.
That's what they're. I think Monokuma actually comes out and tells you at that point when you're inspecting things.
Yep.
And he's pretty much saying, yeah, these people are pretty much challenging you. They're the one who destroyed the world practically, and this is their place.
Yeah, so, that's really weird, huh?
Yeah, it's a little out there, I thought, but they don't really go over it too much because it's locked. You can't get in. There's like a machine gun.
Yep, that's
if
bad.
You put in like the wrong password.
Well, they don't know that for sure, but
they don't know for sure, but they see that you can see.
Yeah,
the gun.
I wouldn't risk it,
and I wouldn't want to risk it either. So
just put in some random numbers.
Yeah,
or order pizza.
Maybe it does. Was there any other interesting spots that you can remember?
I mean, we'll go over like there's like I don't know the pharmacy and the beach house or whatever. We'll go over that stuff once we get to
later
parts of chapter 2. It's not really. A big deal.
I know the after you're done exploring the island and everything, there's some other locations, but I think it really picks up is when Monokuma finally makes his announcement. Because he announces a motivation, because everybody doesn't think there's a motivation for
there's always a motive.
anymore.
There's always a dumb, stupid, contrived motivation.
Yeah, and what his motivation is this arcade game he makes in the middle of the plaza where the little timer is going on.
It's called Twilight Syndrome Murder Case, I think. Is that the right thing?
Yeah, that is right.
Which is apparently a reference to Spike Chunsoft. They used to do this series of games called Twilight Syndrome, right? It looks just like that game in Danganronpa 2, right? And guess who worked on those games?
Who's that?
Suda51.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I know, right? so yeah, that the whole Twilight Syndrome thing is apparently a reference to those old games.
Okay,
I never played them, so
I could kind of see his style in that.
Like when I saw that game, I was thinking this turned into Clock Tower or something.
Yeah, it kind of did. It kind of had the old school horror thing going for it,
but none of them played the game.
Yeah, at that point, what it is Monokuma. He wanted everybody to play this game to find out what it is that was going to cause this.
It was supposed to be the motivation for killing somebody.
But of course, at first they're like, "Oh, we're not going to do that.
It's a dumb game.
Stupid.
Fuck that.
It's just a game. Why would we want to do that?
Yeah, we'd rather play Deadly Premonition instead.
Yeah,
so dumb or No Mercy. What's their No Mercy wrestling game? Monokuma.
Yeah, I need to play. I need to finish Deadly Premonition.
Whatever.
That's a definite.
Anyway.
So I think a few people start playing it, I believe, but nobody knows. Yeah, it's like all secret.
Yeah, nobody's supposed to be playing. They agree not to play it, but people do play it anyway.
Yeah, but you don't know that at that point.
Yeah. So on my notes, I have Nagito written here. So
yeah, well, they ended up tying him up.
Yeah, Nagito's been tied up because of his ridiculous display in the first class trial.
Apparently, I think it's Soda and Nekomaru. End up being the ones tying him up because
Nekomaru's strong.
After they found out he's fucking crazy from the first chapter, you know. They're like, well, we can't take any risks, and they throw him in the cabin and where Byakuya was murdered.
Yeah,
to make him think about what he'd done.
Sure, that's not gonna work on Nagito. Nagito don't give a fuck.
He's fucking crazy.
He's like, whatever, sure, you tell me, who cares? And people gotta bring him food anyway, which leads to other things. But
well, I know like while you're on your free time and you're exploring and talking to people, I know there was a point where you talk to Mahiru. Yeah, I got a little tongue tied there, but she kind of acts a little weird and says she has things to do. I know that, and I know you have to go take Nagito some food for him at one point. And when he's like laid up in the floor, he's like got his hands tied, his feet tied, and he pretty much like wants you to hand feed it to him. And Hajime is like, oh, now I see why the girls didn't want to feed you. It's really creepy.
No, it's because they want you to ship these two characters. They want you to ship Nagito and Hajime, and guess what? It fucking happened. So anyway, yeah. But before we get to the part where you feed Nagito, and then you feed him like that, and then he sucks on your fingers. I don't know whatever he does.
Oh God.
So there's this beach party that
that's right.
that Kazuichi hears about, and he wants Hajime to come along for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, that's he finds out they're going to meet at the beach, and he wants to go see them in like their bikinis or something. Because Sonya's going because he's got the big thing for Sonya.
Oh right, what a nerd.
Yeah, and I believe like when they get there a little early, and there's like a little restaurant, a little area before you go into the beach. And I think they're pretty much like waiting outside the windows, just waiting for these people.
Yeah, Hajime feels like a weirdo because Kazuichi just wants to creep on the girls, and I don't know what the hell Hajime is doing. Does he want to see them too? I don't know.
No, he kind of. I remember like when Soda was trying to get him to come along, he was pretty much like no, but he blackmailed him with something. He said
really? He blackmailed him? I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, because he said he was going to get Nekomaru, but he knew Nekomaru would say something. He knew Hajime, like, I guess would just, like, not argue back, I guess. That's what he was. Or he would tell them and they'd get mad at him or believe him. I can't remember the reason why.
Whatever.
He went along with him for some reason.
Hajime is a secret perv. It doesn't matter.
Well, I know he didn't want to. He got
did it
sucked
anyway.
into it. Yeah.
I told you this dumb beach party where everyone comes in. The whole thing is he wants to see everyone in their. Well, Kazuichi wants to see everyone in their swimsuits.
Yeah.
Because whatever. And guess what? He gets to see some people in their swimsuits.
He does, but I think it's important to mention. I think they run into Fuyuhiko beforehand.
Yeah, if Fuyuhiko shows up, he's still an asshole.
Yeah, but
So
he was just like, I'm not doing anything.
like, fuck you! I'm just walking around, bitch. I'm just eating food in the fucking diner and nobody's here. What the fuck? I can't do that myself. And Hajime's like, oh, sorry, bitch. Go away or whatever. I don't know.
Only if it was like that.
I assume that's what happened. So.
But yeah, he goes away. But yeah, they do finally get some girls to come in, and
I don't get. They're just they're supposed to be there, and Kazuichi just sneaking.
Well, the first one was Chiaki, I believe.
Was it or was it Ibuki? I don't remember.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Chiaki because they were really stunned at what she was wearing.
So now you understand. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Now I understand what you mean by the fan service on that because they were like, "Wow, you have bigger boobs than we thought."
Yeah, see, I told you. See, now you know why I said that stuff earlier about her.
But the thing is, it didn't her character. It didn't really bother me though, because she's like, I'm just trying to be comfortable instead of having to carry all this extra weight and stuff or something like that.
Sure,
backpack.
I guess, but guess what?
She had it anyway.
Yeah, she just right after the scene's over, they're back in their non-bikinis.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, we'll get to that. So who's next to come in when they're?
I do believe that was Ibuki at that point, but she wasn't
dressed.
She hasn't dressed yet. Then I believe it was Peko
Yama.
Yeah, Peko.
She was all wet and shit.
Yeah,
I've been swimming for hours.
She was trying to find a way off the island, I believe. That's what she said she was trying to do. Yeah. She came in. She still had her sword, of course, on her back because she won't get rid of the damn thing.
Yeah,
even in the bikini.
It's anime. Who cares?
Yep, anime. And then finally, I believe Sonya came in. And
no. I think
was it not Sonya after that?
Akane was after her, wasn't it?
Akane.
She was covered in blood.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And she had her head crushed, kind of looked like it was coming down her forehead.
And her excuse was like she was fighting Nekomaru.
Yeah, and they were training apparently because he's her coach right now.
I mean, that makes sense. So.
Of course. So of course, I think Mikan took her in to fix up her head. Was she there?
I don't remember.
It might have been Chuck, and one of them was trying to help her, but they left, and then I think that's when Sonya came in.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. And of course, Soda's like, "This is my moment. She's gonna be in a hot bikini." But what's she wearing?
Wetsuit.
Which
is great. I thought she looked great in that wetsuit.
She did. She's great. And I think she gave an explanation to like she didn't want her porcelain skin being burnt or something like that.
I don't know.
She's a princess.
Why not?
You can't have that.
Well, obviously, since this is a murder mystery game, you're going to say all this is important. All the stuff that's happened just now is important. Like why is Akane covered in blood, huh?
Yeah,
she says it's because she was fighting Nekomaru, but you don't know for sure.
Anything
why is Sonya wearing a wetsuit?
Yep.
She could be hiding something.
Exactly.
So,
And
why is Chiaki wearing her swimsuit? Maybe she's hiding something too. Maybe. You don't know.
But yeah, to be honest with you, before I even got into the murder case that we're about to talk about and what happened, I actually thought I already knew who the killer just was based on the the clothing and stuff like that.
Who do you think it was at this point?
I honestly thought it was going to be Sonya, believe it or not.
Okay, I can see that.
Because I thought her wearing a wetsuit was kind of a giveaway to something.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But we'll talk about that.
And then, but the murder does happen very soon after this, right?
Yeah, because I do believe at first, Soda's like, hey, can we come along? And all the girls were like, well, we didn't really want you to, but since you asked, we'd feel bad. So sure. So I believe Soda's just the first one to go out to the beach area.
Of course, because he's the killer.
Yep. Actually, you know what? I believe I think we missed an important detail.
What?
I believe Soda, when he was looking out the window, I believe he remembers seeing someone running by crying.
Oh, right.
Beforehand,
Hiyoko.
Before they left.
He saw Hiyoko crying.
Yeah, she was running. Away. She ran out from the beach area crying.
And for some reason, neither of them thought that was weird. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
What? That's so fucking stupid. Why don't you go investigate why Hiyoko's running away crying when you're on a fucking beach where everyone's about to get murdered?
Yeah, they're like, why don't y'all go check on her? I mean, what the hell?
Because they don't give a crap about
Go
Hiyoko.
console her.
They don't like Hiyoko. Maybe that's why they purposely made it so you don't want to like her, so you don't question why she's crying.
Yeah, which, by the way, when this happened, I was like, okay, somebody had to have been found dead.
NFD, duh, of course.
So I'm like, okay, something's about to happen.
But this is Danganronpa, and all the characters are dumbasses.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they don't even know.
But so of course, obviously, since we just mentioned that, and they went to the beach house. Obviously, guess what? Since Soda's one of the first ones there.
Does he do his weird scream again?
Yeah, I believe that's when you hear the weird scream, and that's when you realize something's going on.
Yeah. No. Goddamn, Hajime just can't go swimming. Every time he tries to go swimming, something bad happens.
Yeah, very bad. In fact, murder happens.
That's the worst, man.
That's the worst.
But you expect it. And who gets murdered this time?
Well, even though in the first chapter when we talked about the characters and all that and who I liked, she didn't really stand out to me. But I felt really bad, and it was Mahiru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This really disappointed me because I liked her from what I saw.
Because she's at least anime, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And I want to learn more about her. But guess what? She doesn't have time to develop because she's already fucking dead. Yeah,
she's dead.
For a lot of people, if you ask them on the internet who their least favorite character was or whatever, Mahiru comes out a lot because she doesn't really do anything, but she doesn't get a chance to do anything, but she's fucking dead most of the game.
Yeah.
So it's not fair to Mahiru that everyone hates her because she doesn't do anything interesting because she doesn't have a chance to do anything.
Well, here's the thing with me. In the first chapter, like I said, I felt like I remember saying I felt she was kind of a plain Jane kind of character. But the thing with me in my game, when I had my free time, I actually spent a little time with her and with Mahiru, and I actually found her to be a pretty interesting character.
What's she talking about? I don't remember doing anything with her.
It wasn't a lot. I think I spent like maybe 1 or 2 days with free times with her on presents and stuff.
Anything cool?
I don't really remember, honestly.
She takes pictures of corpses because she loves corpses or something.
Yeah, she's just weird. She's just in her own world taking pictures.
A secret porno business going on.
I didn't get the full level with that, so maybe when I get the full thing.
The camera's not real. It's just a toy camera.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. But I don't know. I mean, she didn't seem like a bad person and all. And it's just like, this sucks.
Well, she could have sort of been a bad person.
Well, that's something we'll talk about later.
Let's see what's my notes here.
Finding her body like propped up against the door in this little changing room by the beach house. Yeah. And so it blocked. You can't actually go in the door in one of the directions. You have to go around the back way. To get in, because that's why they couldn't get in, because her body was against.
Did you try going through that door the first time, or did you?
Strangely, no, I did not.
Yeah, me too.
I actually went straight to the back.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why. Like, I wonder what it says when you try and go through that door. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's see. What do they find at the crime scene? I'm trying to remember what they found. Let's see. They go and get everybody, and of course, everybody comes in. I know they end up checking the closet. There's like a little closet area there, and they find like a surfboards and a couple other things, and like surfing bags. And
remember, are there wetsuits in there? No, I forget.
I do believe there was a wetsuit in there.
That's when you start suspecting Sonya.
Yeah, that's when I started suspecting Sonya, because there was that, and then plus the fact that she had been like going like gaga over these serial killers, and stuff. And I was like, oh man! Like,
I told you her hobby was interesting. Like I teased in the previous podcast when I told you, you can wait till you learn about her hobbies. And that's her hobby. Oh, she likes Japanese soap operas and shit too.
Okay, exactly. And that's the next thing I was going to say. They ended up finding like a Japanese anime mask like next to the body, and I was like, that's another. This is all adding up to me thinking it was Sonya, believe it or not.
Well, it's Danganronpa, so
yeah, of course.
All these shitting fucking red herrings and stuff.
Let's see. They found like a deal with a bunch of water, like in some trash cans next to like this like soda machine.
Yeah.
They looked into that,
empty bottles of water. Or something
yeah. They found there was a gummy bear dropped inside the closet area, and they also discovered in the bathroom that there was like a really high window. And
no one can climb that high.
But apparently, I forgot how. I think it was Akane. She helped Hajime onto her shoulders.
Sure, of course.
And of course, she was. No, I think it was the other way around. I think.
Sure.
Whatever, but one of them checked the window, but the window was really, really easy to open. Yeah, it wasn't like locked or anything.
But you can't reach it though. That's the thing.
Yeah. But they also found out that like, the shower was out. Like the shower was not working. It was under maintenance.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I believe. Monami, was it?
Sure.
I think she appears and tells you.
Oh, she tells you the rules of the bathhouse.
Yeah, the bathhouse.
Not the bathhouse, the beach house.
You can't change in there.
Yeah, you're not allowed to change your clothes for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, that was really dumb. I figured that'd be the point.
I mean, there are cameras everywhere, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But
So I know that happens.
Did they find the murder weapon there or not? I don't remember.
I don't think they did actually. No, they did. It was a bat. It was a bat.
Okay,
they found a bat.
Yeah, the baseball bat was the thing that killed
right
him.
next to her, and there was like a little blood trail leading from her body to where the bat was, which was really odd. I remember that.
All this pink.
Yep, all that pink
All
blood.
that pink. Triple H should be very upset.
Oh man, I think that was it. I think they just did the investigation.
We don't have to go over everything. And so, is it at this point that they start talking about the game, the Twilight Syndrome murder case?
I believe so. Yeah,
is that when Hajime decides to talk to Nagito, and then Nagito convinces Hajime to play it?
Yeah, that's right. That's when the food thing happened, wasn't it? When he went in there.
I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah. So Hajime plays the game, which means you play the game. So what did you think of the game when you played it?
Okay, the actual game?
Of Twilight Syndrome Murder Case, the arcade game.
Okay, yeah. So you go back to play the arcade game that Monokuma had, and it was I don't know what the words for it exactly. It was interesting.
Sure, yeah, that's definitely.
It was like what a 32-bit PS1 era looking graphics.
Yeah, it looked like a PS1 game.
Yeah, PS1
it looked like
game.
Clock Tower.
Yeah, like Clock Tower. I think it was like 4 schoolgirls. I believe
1, 2, 3, 4.
Because there's girl A, B, C, and D, wasn't it?
Yeah, A, B, C, D, and E. So there are
there's 5. Then.
Yes, there are 5 girls.
But pretty much what the game is they're in the school. It starts on day 2. Apparently,
yep. When you first start the game, and you press start, it starts on day 2.
Mm-hmm. So they pretty much, I believe, I'm trying to remember how it started. They ended up going upstairs and one of them.
All these non-named characters: A, B, C, girl A, girl B, girl C, girl D, girl E, whatever. They don't have any names.
Yeah, there's no names, so
it's A, B, C, D.
This ends up being part of the mystery later on. But I know at the very beginning of the machine, when the machine's starting up, it's made by Monokuma Industries or whatever. Yeah. He names his company. Yep. But he says this is based on a work of non-fiction. So
non-fiction. So it's true events.
It's a true event. So apparently this game is based on true events.
It's also made by multiple religions and blah, blah, blah. No, I was kidding.
Yeah.
It says Ubisoft at the beginning. You got to download the day 1 patch.
Of course. You got to have that.
You got to download DLC. That comes later.
Of course, I'm sure there'll be lots of that. Yeah. Lots of microtransactions.
Yeah. Free to play.
Themes, wallpapers, you name it.
Anyway. So all this bullshit. Like, what do you think of the actual game itself, though? Like, its presentation. Like, you talked about it looks like a PS1 game. Did you expect this to happen, to be playing a game within a game?
I did not, honestly.
Were you thinking, like, what the fuck is this shit?
To be honest with you, it was kind of a nice change of pace.
I don't know. That game was really boring.
No, I'm not. I wasn't. I was about to say I thought it was boring. Yes,
it was basically just another visual. Like who would play an arcade game with a visual novel?
Yeah, because there's no like gunning or shooting.
Like there's like no game in it. You just see a story happen.
Well, you're doing more of the same what you're doing in Danganronpa itself, except it's just like straightforward. It's plain and short.
But there are some areas of the game you can explore, and it gives you some funny, weird things.
Yeah, but not much.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I didn't, because I was actually just ready to get this over with because I didn't know what was going on.
I explored because I thought something cool happened, but it's an interesting storytelling device, and I guess a cool callback if you were a fan of Twilight Syndrome or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, pretty much, I believe what it is they had heard apparently. These rumors or something going around that there was
pervert.
Like a pervert in the school.
Yeah, which I'm not surprised. Sure.
And so you're
probably pervert.
Yeah,
right?
Possibly, but I can't give my identity away.
It was Diamond Dallas Page. He was stalking the Undertaker's wife. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
And so weren't they? I think they were like in a classroom, and they. No, this was after you go back into the game. Your day 1, I believe. I think in this day, they were showing a photo that one of the girls had taken, and one of them like shredded up or something.
Sure.
I believe. And she's like, "Hey, make sure you delete the digital copies too, because we don't want anybody seeing this."
Okay.
So apparently they were all in on something that was going on.
Yeah, some weird shit.
Some weird murder. I believe that happens in the game too.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Murder case. So you would assume it has to do with murder.
But pretty much at the end of the game, when Hajime's playing it, it pretty much just gives you a game over.
He's like, "Oh, wait!" At the very end, it shows the person that's dead, right?
Oh, that's right.
And it's just like Mahiru right?
Yeah.
So she was a dead girl leaning on the wall, and there was a baseball bat.
And it was like a realistic picture too. Like
Sure.
I thought that was,
I don't remember. Yeah, probably.
It looked kind of weird, distinctly different from the game itself.
Yes.
But yeah, all I know is that the girls in the game, when they're talking about this, I remember you end up seeing this picture at the end. So someone's dead.
So he plays this after Mahiru's dead. Is that how it works, or is it before? I don't remember.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember too. I think he had played it before.
Well, either way, it mirrors how Mahiru died.
Yeah. All this is based on people.
The girl in the game was killed the same way Mahiru was killed. But so he gets the game over, and it says like, what does it say at the very end?
Oh goodness,
it's like down 5 or something like that.
Down 5, yeah, that's what it was. But him not being like, I guess the gamer of the group is like, I don't know.
I wouldn't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Down 5 doesn't mean shit.
But I thought when I played it, I thought it meant like you're down like 5 lives or 5 points or something. Like
you lost 5 points, game over.
It's like you missed 5 things
it was
or
just
something.
An error. He's like error macro. You got to fight Ermac now.
That'd be awesome.
You got to press start when you see the thing on the moon.
Ed Boon was good with his secrets.
Yeah,
so,
it was basically Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
he got a fatality on the girl at the end.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But no, Hajime ends up being like really confused. I remember.
So we asked like Chiaki for help or something.
Yeah, because
Chiaki's the gamer. She knows all. She probably knows all about Suda 51 and Twilight Syndrome and all that shit.
Sure, why not?
So she tells him like, "Oh, you press down 5 times, you fucking moron." I'm like, but doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so you have to go back and play the game.
Yeah, and press down 5 times on the start menu. Well, it turns out that in Japanese it made more sense because at the very end it had a phrase that meant like you misunderstood something. That's like the phrase it meant. But it could also be used to mean press down 5 times. So it's like some play on words in Japanese or whatever. And I guess they couldn't think of anything good enough for English, so they just pressed down 5 times or whatever.
Yeah, whatever works.
And so he presses down 5 times, and he unlocks the true order of events of the game.
Yes.
Right? So it starts off at day 1 or whatever.
Day 1, and I think you also see, was it day 3?
So you see all the days.
All the days, yeah.
So it shows that so they girl E or whatever was like, oh no, there's a dead body or something up here, and they discover a dead body, and they're like, well, let's not tell anyone because
they decide to hide it.
Yeah, hide a bunch of high schoolers like we don't want responsibility. Let's not tell anyone that we found this dead body.
Yeah, exactly.
And then later on, you find out that girl E killed the girl,
and she tells her friend.
She tells girl D.
I think it was D, yeah.
No, girl D finds out that girl E killed the girl. And girl D's like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to hide the evidence or whatever, right?
Right.
So girl D helped the girl E cover up the evidence. And then at the very end of the True Path, there's a guy named Guy F.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, fuck you. I know what you did, girl E.
Well, that's because they threw something out.
They threw away the photograph.
Yeah,
one of them. Girl D turns out to be a photographer. That's weird, huh?
Yeah, I wonder who else is a photographer in the group.
Yeah. So Guy F finds the photograph. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you next. Yeah, I'm gonna get you. Yeah, next time on Raw, I'm gonna kill you or something. I'm not really.
That's how it works in wrestling, right?
Yeah, sure.
They hit them with a car and then they recover the next day.
Yep.
So I think at this point, they
the credits show up.
The credits shows, yeah, that's right.
And it shows names, some very familiar names.
Oh yeah, and I remember 2 of them was like a repeat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the names that show up are Sumiki, Saionji, Miyota, Koizumi, Kuzuryu, and Kuzuryu again.
Yes, that's right.
So those are the names of your friends on the island.
Yeah, their last names, I believe.
Except for Kuzuryu, which is on there twice for some reason.
Yeah, I was like, why is this one here twice?
So apparently it's Mikan, Hiyoko, Ibuki, Mahiru, and Fuyuhiko again. Which I didn't really understand in the beginning because I didn't remember their last names.
I didn't either, yeah.
So I was like,
which ones are those?
These look familiar, but I'm not exactly sure if these are my people or not. God damn it, why can't you just use their first fucking names?
I remember at one point when you do find out these names, you end up going and trying to talk to each one of the girls.
Yes.
In like the airport area.
Yeah, Nagito arranges for them to meet at the airport.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Hajime and Chiaki go and ask them questions or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think Ibuki and all them agree, except I think the only one that was like not really wanting to help out was Hiyoko, I believe. She was.
Sure, care. She's total nerd.
Yeah.
She can't even take a bath by herself.
Well, apparently she was really close friends with Mahiru at that point
because she knew how to tie.
Because she helped her tie.
I bet Hajime knew how to tie. If he just said something earlier, then him and Hiyoko could have been friends. Or like, I don't know, give her like a cool T-shirt or something. I don't know, give her one of them Bullet Club T-shirts from Japan.
Let's do that.
But anyway, so yeah, they've all that bullshit with the arcade game and who cares, whatever. Then let's get to the class trial.
Yeah, the trial. That's where I have a lot of my notes and stuff. I remember there.
What do you have written down? Let me see.
Let's see. They
Where are we? What number are we on?
Let's see. We got to the number 7. I just found that about the closet.
Okay.
Yeah, the gummy I think was one of the first things I remember them.
All right, so when do they talk about the gravel in the bathing suit? That's all I care about.
Oh, they get to that later when they when you're trying to figure out who the killer is towards the end. Because they end up finding out
when they're trying to find out the killer in the game.
The killer in the game that comes into play.
So do they find out who the killer is? Do they find out who killed Mahiru first, or do they find out who the killer in the game is first?
I think because I think they had to sit there and they told themselves in the trial like we have to figure out this game first.
So they figure out the game first.
So they have because that's how you just determine who the girl numbers are or letters are.
Sure.
So that way they can. So
let's talk about this part first. All right. So one of the things they make you do is they make you identify what girl E used to kill the girl in the game, right?
Right.
So did you have trouble with this or not? Because a lot of people had trouble with this, and I had a lot of trouble with this.
I did have a little bit of an issue with it at first, yeah.
What did you pick as the murder weapon for that?
Oh God, I'm trying to remember what all the options were, but I know it was something dumb. It was wasn't it like because I know that everybody suspected the baseball bat was something. I think.
I don't think that's what it was.
Was that not it?
Whatever. Anyway, what the actual answer is gravel inside a bathing suit.
Yeah, that's why they thought there was a pervert. Yeah, because someone
stole the bathing suit, whatever. But that's a stupid. I thought it would be. I never understood why the window was broken in the room. Why was the window broken in the room?
Yeah, because apparently when you're playing the game. They see that the window is broken next to where they find the dead body.
Do they explain why it was broken? Other than the idea that the pervert jumped out the window. Other than that, do they explain why it was broken?
Not that I really remember.
So that's why I thought that she killed her with the window somehow. Like she cut her or something with the glass on the window. Even though no blood was there, I don't really care. That's what I thought it was because that made the most sense to me because the window wasn't explained.
Well, I thought they tried to explain it because I remember them saying something about they heard like a noise next door and it ended up being a vase being broken or something like that.
But the window was still broken though.
Yeah, I think I guess the killer did escape that way and they just...
No, the killer did not escape that way because the killer was Girl E.
That's right, that was Girl E. It ended up being Girl E.
But why was the window broken? Is it because just to blame the killer escaping through the window or the fake killer escaping through the window?
I think that's what it was because she had been there the whole time.
Well, either way... I thought it was to use the window to kill her, like
cut her glass, or
like
something.
Cutting her with the glass or pushing her through the window or something to kill her. Obviously, there's no blood there, so that can't be it. But
that's right. They were trying to figure out why there's no blood.
Is that what they're doing?
I think that's what it was.
Whatever. Either way, the fucking answer was gravel in the bathing suit. And that's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. That pissed me off so fucking much. I was stuck on that for a long ass time. Oh, she killed her. Why would you kill someone that way? That's stupid. There's glass right there. Just slit her throat.
Well, you would make yourself really more obvious, then there'd be way more evidence.
Whatever. You clean it up or something. Or, she committed suicide. Whatever.
I don't know. I thought, me personally, I was like, I didn't think that would kill somebody. To be honest with you.
What, the gravel?
If you hit someone with gravel.
I'm sure if you hit them really hard with it.
But I guess so. I mean, I figured you'd just be knocked out, but whatever. I guess I'm wrong.
It was enough to kill her real hard or whatever.
Kill her real hard. You're really dead.
Yeah. But it just pissed me off. Like, It's not. It wasn't obvious enough to me, and a lot of people are so smart on the internet. Oh, I thought I did it the first time. You guys are dumb. Meat on the bone. That doesn't make any sense. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, there's more of those I don't like either, but we'll go about that later.
That's the main one.
That was the worst one.
For me, I don't know about you if you had trouble with that, but I had a lot of trouble with.
Like I said, I just
fucking
got lucky.
Gravel bathing suit thing. That's all I remember about this trial was that fucking gravel bathing suit thing.
All that bullshit.
Because
I think we need to establish everybody though that who the letters were.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Because wasn't like
I got a list right here.
Because that way it'd be easier for people to understand who's who.
Okay, so girl A was the first person you see, and she's late to class or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you first see her, she's being berated by girl B. Well, it made it pretty obvious that girl A was Mikan and girl B is Hiyoko, because girl B was she used a lot of abusive language towards girl A and the rest of the group.
Yeah.
So it's very obvious that girl A was Mikan and girl B was Hiyoko.
Because Hiyoko always called her like pig barf and stuff like that.
Something
she
about
referenced that
and
I think in that. So.
Girl D obviously was Mahiru because she takes pictures and shit.
Yeah. Okay. And then Buki was one of them too.
Apparently Buki was girl C. I don't know how you're supposed to know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That was one of the only ones I didn't catch.
Yeah. And then girl E is some other girl that you don't know.
Yeah, she's the unknown factor.
Yeah, she's not on the island with you.
Right.
So and guy F was Fuyuhiko.
Fuyuhiko.
And the girl that gets killed was Fuyuhiko's sister.
Right.
Which is why there were 2 Kuzuriyos in the credits. Anyway, the thing where it said this is based on real events was actually true. That apparently this happened before their memories got erased.
Right, because as we discussed, I mean, everybody's memories are erased, so that's why they don't remember.
I don't think we discussed that. I don't know.
I believe it did. I don't know, but that's just pretty much why they don't remember this stuff.
They don't. It was
because it happened. But one thing we forgot to mention in the game, when you go to play Monokuma's game, there is a prize.
Yeah,
that's given out to I think the first person.
First person who beats it gets the prize.
And I do remember before all the trial and all the murders happened. I do remember you end up running into Fuyuhiko.
He has like a folder. Or something.
He has like a little folder in his hand.
Yep. He just bought it at the store, man.
Yeah, I just bought it, man. What the fuck you care? Get away.
He just got stuff in it. Who cares? Why y'all ask questions? Fuyuhiko, man.
So I know that. Remember that comes into play during the trial.
Yeah,
that's very important
because you find out he finished the game first.
Yeah, he was the first one to finish the game.
He's really good at pressing A and down 5 times. Good job, Fuyuhiko. You're great. You're a grandmaster. You should do a speedrun. AGDQ will play Twilight Syndrome murder case speedrun. You press A a lot and then you press down 5 times.
Yeah,
you win. Good job, Fuyuhiko. You're best video gamer.
Yeah. Apparently, Hajime is really good because he was like, "Oh yeah, I did that. That was easy."
It wasn't hard. It wasn't a game. It's not a game. I mean, even Danganronpa is a game because it's got these bullshit mini games and fucking gravel in a bathing suit.
This gravel's really got you down, man.
So stupid. But anyway, so they find out all the bullshit with the game,
right?
Which leads them to the murder bullshit, the actual murder with Mahiru, right?
Yeah. I believe they start going over all of the evidence at this point.
Yeah.
And I believe at first they end up believing it was Hiyoko who's the killer.
Yeah, no.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it is, but no, she didn't kill
her. She's not. Okay.
Yeah, she got framed.
They thought that because, they found the gummy I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but
that was one thing.
But that's not her. She don't eat those gummies. Like her gummies don't have that shit. I don't know. She probably could have
there's like a certain color or flavor.
Yeah, it's like
and
lemon or something.
She's like, no, that's not mine.
Even though she could have fucking lied about it or something. I don't know.
She could have.
Whatever. She didn't do it because so. How are we doing? I haven't played this game in a long time.
I know.
I'm the order of the events.
I'm trying to remember. I have notes, but I just remember chapter 3, so I'm trying to remember.
We don't
chapter
have to
2
go over
now.
everything. Everyone who's listening to this has probably already played the game.
I'm sure they have. They have.
We don't have to go over everything in the exact same order. We just have to discuss what we think about the events.
I liked how the twist and stuff happen when you do find out who the killer is, because pretty much what it all comes down to is Mahiru. I keep getting her name mixed up in my head. Mahiru, and she was sought after by Fuyuhiko because he ends up finding pictures, I believe, in that envelope.
Yeah, the prize he gets for the photographs from the game, and they are pictures of all the girls or whatever.
Yeah, and I know that you find out he had like a sister, I believe.
Yeah, Fuyuhiko had a sister who was at the same school as these girls.
And I think you find a picture of your dead sister in that envelope.
My dead sister?
Fuyuhiko's, not yours, personally.
Yeah, that's a real life picture.
And I do believe that's why he ends up trying to get her to help him, since she's the photographer, obviously, to interpret these pictures, make sure they were real.
Sure.
I believe that's how it all started.
I guess.
But apparently, what had happened is Mahiru, she was messed with by Fuyuhiko's sister. She was always teased and stuff. I believe that's
no. It was Girl E that was messed with.
Was it Girl E?
No. Yeah. Yes. Girl E was the one that was teased by Fuyuhiko's sister, and which is why that Girl E killed her.
That's right.
And since since Mahiru was friends with Girl E, she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna cover it up." Whatever.
Okay, because you're my friend, I'm gonna cover this up. And so when they discarded the picture, that's
Fuyuhiko's
when found that picture.
Oh man, yeah, we talked about this already.
Yeah, but he actually ended up killing that girl.
Yeah, he apparently he killed the Girl E.
Yeah, I mean, because he's
in real life.
He's Yakuza, so he actually really did kill her.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I didn't think he had killed her. Like, I was like, okay, like, he didn't actually murder somebody, did he?
I'm not sure if he actually killed her, but you want to play it, so.
Yeah, from what I understand, I think he really did kill her.
Okay, that happened in the past, though.
Yeah, it was all in the past.
Because he's not accountable for that in this killing game on the island.
Right, it doesn't count for on the island.
So let's just go ahead and say who killed Mahiru.
Should we?
Yeah. Well, like, we don't have to. I mean, what do you want to talk about for that?
I don't know. I guess it would be easier to discuss if we tell who it was. It ends up being Peko.
Yeah, Pekoyama killed Mahiru. And you're like, okay, why? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Tell me why, Daniel.
Well, apparently it's because she's a tool.
No. We'll talk about the tool shit later. It's because what's the excuse she gives for why she killed Mahiru?
Oh, that's right. She ends up faking that she's the serial killer.
Yeah,
that's what
she
it was.
says she's this. What's the name of the serial killer?
Sparkling Justice.
Okay, she says she's Sparkling Justice, which is a serial killer that Sonia talked about in the library or whatever. And at this point of the game, when I was playing it, I was like, "Are you fucking serious? They're doing the same bullshit again. They're having a same secret alternate personality of a serial killer. This is fucking stupid."
Oh, like the girl with the tongue from the first one.
They were just copying. Genocide Jill, Genocide Shio, whatever the fuck you want to call Toko's alternate personality. This is what I was thinking at this point.
And this got you frustrated.
Yes, because I was like, this is Danganronpa 2. There has to be a twist to this because they can't just do the same thing again, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They didn't do the same thing again.
Nope. This is when I was personally like, holy crap, this is awesome. I like the twist.
I was pissed off so much, and then they turned out, she was just faking. She wasn't Sparkling.
Well, you're
Justice.
Actually about to execute her. Like, I believe you're actually about to vote for her.
That was her plan. She wanted the reason she pretended to be Sparkling Justice and made it so obvious it was her was because she wanted them to vote for her, and they do vote for her, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And when you find out that it's not true, everybody's like, "Oh shit, we already picked. We're gonna die."
They found out it's not true because Sonia knows all about Sparkling Justice.
Yep.
Because that's her hobby is researching serial killers.
Well, she found out the articles were in Spanish.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yep.
And I believe Peko can't actually talk Spanish. I think.
Stupid Japanese high school girl don't know Spanish. Turns out.
So now you're like, okay, well, what's going on? If she's not the killer, who is? You know. Well, apparently what it was is she ended up covering up for Fuyuhiko.
This is so dumb. Yeah.
Because apparently when he did end up confronting the photographer about the pictures and stuff, as a Yakuza, it's kind of like his honor, like an eye for an eye kind of thing.
What?
Because he knows if someone messes with your family, you got to get revenge.
All right, they talked about her backstory, right?
Yeah.
About how Fuyuhiko's family adopted her or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's always been like, by Fuyuhiko's side, trying to protect him and shit like that.
Yeah, this is Peko we're talking about.
Yes.
Because they were both like real like babies practically when they were together.
So they actually knew each other before all this. And they still knew each other on the island, but they just decided not to tell anyone about it.
Yeah, that's like part of how they work.
So they didn't forget about knowing each other.
Right.
They remembered knowing each other. They just chose not to tell anyone about it.
Yeah. Because I think he'd always, like, his whole life kind of, like, pretended and put her to the side. That's how
he didn't want to.
He didn't want to.
That's how Peko saw it, and she was okay with it. She was okay being used as a tool or whatever.
Yeah.
But so this is what happened, right? So Fuyuhiko was all pissed off about the fucking game. He remembered. He was like, "Oh shit." So these girls know something about my sister dying. Fuck, I'm gonna talk to Mahiru about it. Mahiru was like, I don't really want to talk about it. That's scary. So Fuyuko's like, man, fuck you. I'm gonna forge these notes and say, hey, Hyoko, meet me at the beach house at 2:00 p.m. And then he's like, hey, yo, Mahiru, meet me at the beach house at 2:30 p.m. He wants them both, but he doesn't say it's Fuyuhiko. He said it's from both either. Whatever.
That's right. They had letters that they were going to meet up at the beach.
He tricks them to coming to the beach house at different times.
That's right.
I'm not really sure why. Tell me why. Is it to frame Hyoko from
yeah, that was it was to blame Hyoko because
so Fuyuhiko was this is a premeditated murder, you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying Fuyuhiko meant to kill Mahiru, right?
I believe so, yeah.
But it turns out that Peko does it instead, right?
Yeah, because I believe when they go to kill her, I believe Peko steps in and does it for him.
Yeah, and he didn't want that, right?
Right, he had planned on that happening.
So Fuyuhiko planned to kill Mahiru from the beginning. Is that what's happening here?
Well, I think from what I gather from when I played it, he confronted her, and like I said, he was like, "Well, on my honor as Yakuza, I have to, I'm going to kill you," pretty much. But he didn't want to. But Peko was
then why did he invite her to fucking beach house?
Well, I think he set it up, but I think I don't know if he was losing his nerve or whatever. But I think Peko
he had a plan.
Well, Peko ended up taking the bat from his hand because I think he was going to kill her with that bat.
Okay, so Fuyuhiko hesitated, but Peko's like, "Fuck you." I'm like,
well, she's like, "I know you're going to do this, and I know you're going to get in trouble, so I'm just going to kill her for you real quick."
Yeah,
and she killed one hit with the bat, she was instantly dead.
Sure, you can do that, especially when you're like the ultimate swordswoman.
Yeah, exactly.
Use a fucking bat, murderer.
But I think it's funny where her hiding place was because she ended up being in the surfboard thing inside the closet.
Yeah,
and she was actually in there when Hyoko was tied up.
When Hyoko woke up. Yeah, because they drugged Hyoko with stuff from the pharmacy. And I guess it was all a plan that with Fuyuhiko's apparently to frame Hyoko after he was supposed to murder Mahiru. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing was to frame Hyoko, and Pekayama helped out with that or whatever. And then Pekayama hid in the stupid surfboard case for like 5 million years. Yeah,
and apparently when Hyoko saw her dead body, she rushed out and they had footprints in the sand. Yeah. And I believe it was Nagito. He asked Monokuma if he could inspect all their footprints or something like that.
Sure, I don't remember.
So he was like, "Whose footprints are these?"
Okay.
So I think that was another reason they were trying to blame her at first.
And also Peko washed all the blood off her with the water bottles
that were in that.
Which is why she was wet when she ended. She wasn't fucking swimming for 3 hours. She was fucking murdering people for 3 hours or whatever. Yeah, she was sleeping in a surfboard bag for 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a long time
or whatever.
But the part that got me was the part where she escaped.
Oh yeah,
it was so anime.
Is it? I don't know.
To me, I don't know.
Has that happened in anime?
Well, she ended up going in the because they kept thinking how she washed it off. She couldn't take the shower. That's the water bottle thing. Yeah. But when she went into the bathroom area, there was that window we were talking about earlier. You're like, hey, that's where she escaped from. Like, how did she get out of there? Well, apparently she used her bamboo sword. Yeah. And she stepped on the hilt to boost herself out, and then she used the bag, the strap, to pull up her sword, so nobody would find any evidence of her escaping out the window.
Yeah, it makes sense. But did she plan that from the beginning? Wasn't Fuyuhiko supposed to kill Mahiru? How would Fuyuhiko escape?
Yeah, that's another thing that kind of bothered me about this case. If he was there when this all happened, and they had Hyoko's footprints, where was his? Where did he go when he left?
I don't remember.
That's the only thing I don't really remember.
So I think you're the one that played it most recently, so you have the knowledge right now. Tell me.
To be honest with you, that case was the more confusing ones than the way you did to do it in order.
I mean, with Pekayama there, I guess he could escape with Pekayama, but did he leave?
Well, I think no. What I think it was is, you remember when we was talking about this earlier, when they went to the diner area, that Fuyuhiko ran into him. He goes, "I'm here, whatever. Can I eat here?"
So when Nagito did the footprints, did he find Fuyuhiko's footprints too, or no?
I don't think they ever mentioned they found his footprints.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't really know if they explained that in the game.
People in the comments can be so mad at you for missing out on these details.
I'm sure they will be, but
they can't expect me to remember these details. I played this. I played this last year. I played this in 2014. It is 2015 now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember all that stuff.
I don't know. My knowledge right now is on chapter 3 right now.
And I totally would have played it again, except my roommate stole my Vita by accident. So
that sucks.
yeah. So whatever.
But yeah, no. I mean, I still think it was pretty neat that it ended up being a little twist there that it wasn't supposed to be Peko, but it's supposed to be Fuyuhiko.
Sure. I'll give you that.
But what happens when they do go to in the trial? You're like, okay, well now that we know, like, what's going to happen? We voted wrong.
Yeah, they already voted for Peko.
Yeah,
and then now they have this dumb bullshit thing. Well, haha, it was actually Fuyuhiko because Fuyuhiko used me as a tool. Fuyuhiko used Pekoyama as a tool to murder Mahiru, which is the dumbest fucking thing in the fucking world. Because no, Monokuma's rules say if you kill someone, you're the fucking killer. And they're all debating about, oh no, it was such a big deal, such a big
I know.
difference.
It was dragged on for a while, and I'm like, come on, just she killed him.
I understand her line of thinking is that if you know. If it was Fuyuhiko that was determined to be the Blackened, and they voted for Pekoyama, that means Fuyuhiko would live and everyone else would die.
Yeah, that was her whole plan, so that way he would live and be able to go home, and everybody else would die. She was willing to sacrifice herself because it didn't matter to her. Plus, she just wanted to be a tool.
It's still stupid because I don't think Fuyuhiko actually ever told her to kill Mahiru.
He didn't. She just did it.
Yeah.
She knew he would have eventually done it, and he would have been in trouble, and it would have been bad. And she didn't want to take that chance.
So apparently the whole thing was resting on Fuyuhiko deciding on whether or not he was able to use Pekoyama as a tool. And I guess Monokuma would buy it. I don't know.
Yeah, so apparently she's not human because she's just a tool. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, come to find out, Fuyuhiko actually had feelings for her
Something
and
like that.
seen her as more human. And
yeah, she wanted to be friends, or he wanted to be friends, or whatever.
I think the way I interpret it is that he loved her for some reason because they were together since they were
gone.
why
not? But too bad she's some weird psycho crazy lady.
Yeah, well, she pretended. I know she pretended to be even more psycho than she was with that sparkling justice
pretending
thing.
To almost piss me off more.
And of course, Sonya knew the whole thing, so she's weirdo too. But I like her. So yeah, they ended up figuring out that then it really is Peko that we're going to execute, so they do go to execute her.
Hold on, before we get to that, I'll talk more about the stupid being used as a tool thing.
Okay, what do you want to say?
Why did they think that was a good idea?
Oh, the writers of the game?
Yeah, because it's so obvious that she's the actual killer. I mean, maybe it's supposed to give us, make us think about how Fuyuhiko really felt about her. He had to decide whether she's a tool or a friend. But it's so obvious that he decides. It's so obvious that he thinks of her as a friend and not a tool. Maybe that's like the tragedy is that Pekoyama is so insistent that she is a tool. I mean, I keep using the word tool. You know what I mean by tool, right?
Yeah.
Equipment, assistance in murder, not a jackass.
Kind of like you treat her like she was his weapon.
Yeah,
like she wasn't actually a person.
And maybe that's the tragedy. Is Fuyuhiko was tried so hard to get Peko to understand that no, Peko, you're a human, you're my friend, and Peko was having none of it because she's messed up in the head or whatever.
Well, I mean, I don't really know the traditions and stuff. I mean, if it's based on actual Yakuza stuff and all that, but I'm sure her honor made her stubborn about the whole thing.
What honor? There's no honor.
Well, she was the ultimate swordswoman, so
she just seemed really robotic for some reason, and you know how I hate robot girls.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, to me, she was a little too plain. Like I didn't like her.
It's just they worked so hard to make this. I don't know. The whole, is she really a tool or is she not a tool? No, she's not a tool. She's a murderer. It's so obvious from the friggin' beginning that she's a murderer.
They had to pull on your heartstrings, though, man. That's what they're doing.
Well, they
pull on your emotions.
They do pull on my heartstrings, and they did. It was effective during her actual execution, which I guess we can talk about now.
Right.
Like her execution is, the
samurais come out.
Yeah, she's being controlled as a puppet because the tool thing comes into play again. She's being controlled as a puppet, killing all these
samurai things,
soldiers or samurais, whatever, coming after her. And then Fuyuko's like, no, fuck this, no, stop it. So Fuyuko interferes with the execution,
right?
And then Monokuma stops controlling her, and she's still trying to fight off the soldiers or whatever. Yeah. And she accidentally slices up Fuyuhiko, which
was it her? Because I think all the samurais go to stab her, and he jumps in front of one of the samurais and gets his eye cut. Isn't that how?
I thought it was that she accidentally cuts him.
That might have been it. The point being that he ends up getting his eye.
No, that's not the point. The point is, well, for me at least, the point is she thinks that she killed Fuyuhiko, the one person that she trusted and treasured. She thinks he killed him, and then she dies. She dies thinking that she killed her best friend.
Okay.
That is really that is. I think that's sadder than stupid Teru's mom bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
You know his mom's already dead.
Of course.
I guess that's the tragedy of him is that he doesn't know that she's dead or whatever. And this is a tragedy here where she thinks that she kills Fuyuhiko, and that's like probably the worst fucking feeling you can get right before you fucking die.
Yeah.
That you killed your friend.
Yeah.
But turns out no, he's fine.
Yeah, he ends up living.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that because she's
of course she's dead. She's dead.
So that was really depressing to me, even though I hated all that Tool shit. And I was like, man, that fucking sucks for her. God damn. R.I.P. in peace, Peko Yama.
Yep.
And then Fuyuhiko gets a cool eye patch later. But yeah.
Yep, he does.
And he also becomes a cool character.
Yeah, this is when we get the change in character.
So yeah, that's all I really want to talk about.
Yeah, that's the main thing I remember really happening by the end of that. And but no, I thought that the chapter was kind of, I don't know, it was my least favorite of the 3 I've played so far.
Sure.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
Some of the characters I think had they were growing on me a little more by this point. Obviously, by the time we get to chapter 3, when we talk to next, I end up doing like in Fuyuhiko a lot more too. And believe it or not, I know I had originally said I didn't really like Chiaki as much, but I also found she was actually pretty useful in this trial, and she started growing on me by this chapter a little bit.
Like I said, Chiaki is the Kirigiri of this game.
Yeah.
But she's nowhere near as cool.
Well,
Kirigiri wouldn't put on a swimsuit for no reason. She'd be like, fuck that.
Well, she was doing it for comfort, but whatever.
She bought a board game, which she never played.
Which nobody ever played. But
yeah. It's so dumb that she put on the swimsuit and make a big deal about it, and the next scene she's not in it anymore. Like, I didn't want to carry everything, but she carried all the clothes anyway.
But what's weird to me is I actually start liking her by this point because she ends up starting to seem a lot smarter than I thought by this point, a lot more helpful.
She's ultimate gamer, man.
Yeah, well, she does end up being like this whole like, oh, I'm just going to sleep and play games at this point. She ends up being useful at this point to me, and I start liking her character a little more.
Okay, what about the most important character? What about Nagito?
Oh God, Nagito.
He also helps you a lot during this case. Even though everyone knows he's a crazy man, he helps a lot.
Yeah, the thing about Nagito, this is another reason why I think he's like the best character is, by the time when you start getting more into this game, it's like he already knows the answers to like all this shit.
Yeah.
But he plays snide about the whole thing. He's like, well, I do know, or maybe you should do this or ask this. Yeah. It's like he already knows.
Yeah, he's smart.
Like, he's so fucking smart.
Yeah, it's
and
great.
Maniacal.
It's great, and he still helps you with the case to find out the truth, even though he also tries to sabotage everything too.
Yeah, so it's kind of a good thing that they kept him alive because he's really, in a lot of ways,
it's all because of him that they played that fucking game.
Which game?
The Twilight Syndrome.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it would have been as much of a game.
Didn't he talk to Mahiru about it too, or something like that?
Yeah, I believe so.
So
he ends up having his input into it.
He both sabotages everything and helps solve everything. So
yeah, and
he's a great character.
He's great, and he's still crazy, and he's still like, hey, if I can die or if it can make for y'all to be ultimates better, he's still on about that. So, and of course during the trials, everybody's like, shut up, like, God, I wish you'd die. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, remind me, like, how does everyone feel about Nagito at this point? Because he's not tied up anymore, right?
No, I think they were a little freaked out that he was like running free.
Yeah,
like,
did he escape by himself? I don't remember.
Actually, I think I made a note on who let him go somewhere.
I let him go. I like him so much. No, Hajime let him go after they made out if he fed him food and they made out and had sex. He let him go then. Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was Monami. She's the one who got she's like.
Oh,
she's like, I thought he would be helpful or something.
He was. So
she was.
Right.
So yeah, it was Monami. She's the one who untied him. That's what it was.
Good job.
And everybody's like, why'd you do that?
So he could investigate the footprints or whatever.
But see, the thing about Nagito at this point is, I've come to like, I guess some of the characters are starting to realize it too. Like after this chapter, but like he's not going to kill nobody. He's the way from what I get anyway.
Sure.
So far, it's like he doesn't want to. He wants these things to happen, but he still wants people to come to him. And at the end of all the chapters now, when you do find out what happens, he's always like, man, it would have been so much better if I'd helped. He does that in the next 2 chapters or whatever, and I played, and he's like, "Man, if only if it was me, it would have been gone so much better."
Yeah, yeah. Nagito is an awesome character.
He's fucking crazy, but I like him for that reason.
Yep.
So,
okay, so let's talk about the changes in the trial system in Chapter 2. So they added more bullshit to these shitty minigames, right?
yeah. They we already talked about how some of them weren't that great, and once again,
they make it more complicated.
Yeah, everything starts getting harder and harder.
It was
and they add more stuff.
They did the exact same thing in Danganronpa 1.
Yeah,
they made the already crappy minigames even harder by adding all this really stupid esoteric bullshit, and then just giving you really vague instructions on how to do everything, and then
it's like you're just still thrown into it, even
and then being all snarky about it, like, let's figure it out. Who cares? All right, so tell me, what do you remember anything being changed about nonstop debates?
I do believe they added it to where you could do you can analyze certain words, like
you
keywords.
hold down like triangle or something.
Yeah, and you could pick them up and use it as like a single bullet for one instance.
So what did you think about that change?
Well, to be honest with you,
do you find it difficult, or?
Yeah, at first, I did, because, well, at this point in the chapter, like, they kind of pretty much give it away to me. From what I remember, I got it like on my second or third try. Which we'll talk about the other chapter later, where it got a lot more difficult for me, because in this one they kind of to do it.
Because it introduces you the first time.
They introduce you to it,
so you know you're going to use it.
So you know you're going to use it.
Yeah.
Later chapters, it's just like, wait, why do I do this? But it's like, oh, I forgot, that's a thing.
Yeah.
But here it's going to be one of these keywords, because it's just like the other words where you shoot your bullet at. You can grab one of the other keywords and use it.
It just gives you more ammunition to choose from. It's a little harder because you don't know which phrase to pick.
Exactly.
And multiple phrases could be used as ammo now.
Exactly. But if you miss, like, it restarts and you have to do it again, which pissed me off, because the first time I missed, I have to fast forward through the whole thing and losing time just to get to the word I have to hold and wait for it to start over and use it.
And like sometimes the ammo you have to use, they give it to you later to use on a phrase that happens before.
Exactly.
So you have to let it go through the entire thing first.
Exactly.
And then get it.
Oh my god, the white noise pissed me off at this point, because it wasn't a problem for me in the first chapter. I thought it was just like a little bonus bullshit. No, I get my key word. I remember this happening to me distinctly. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to use it on this. And I go to shoot the bullet, and it hits the white noise. And I'm like, I have to wait all over. I'm almost out of time. I'm like, what the hell?
All you gotta do is tap on that back pad. Just like tap.
The word was right there, and I shot it. And then as soon as I go to shoot it, the other text appears. I'm like, damn it!
Always use your bullet time, man.
Well, see, that's the thing. The thing about I learned after this point is to wait for the whole thing to finish. Yeah. Because you know where everything's going to appear at that point.
For the most part.
For the most part. Like, I got hasty, but see, I knew it was going to appear the second time. I was like, okay, that's where it's going to be. Yep. So I know to shoot it. So,
That's still the best part. I mean, besides for the manga thing, the best part about these...
oh, yeah. I forgot about the manga thing. That was really cool.
So, next up is the rebuttal showdown, which is the sword thing. Anything changed about that? Have any opinions about the rebuttal showdown?
Oh god, they're still annoying.
You gotta use the D-pad to like cut the words or whatever, right?
Well, I use the touch screen. I just slide them up and down.
I think D-pad's faster. I just mash that shit.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're only allowed a limited amount of strikes, which I didn't know that until later in the game, where it got really hard.
Yeah, like I noticed, like they started coming at you like a lot of different angles, and you're like, oh crap, I'm supposed to go this way, and they get harder to cut now. Like it takes like 4 or 5 swipes now. And
later in the game, you'll have a limited amount of swipes where like you have to be strategic about when you swipe. Like there'll be 3 lined up, and you got to make sure you cut them all at once, otherwise you'll be wasting swipes.
Exactly, and then you're not strong enough to do some of them at that point, and then they'll progress towards you, and you retreat. Yeah. So
It's probably the least offensive out of all of them because it's so easy.
To be honest with you, I hate it when those come up.
It's not very fun. I mean, it's more interesting than the bullet time stuff because there's things they're saying are actually relevant to the case. Well, but you don't have time to read them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, I don't even really pay attention much because I'm so frantic trying to. And since I use the touchscreen, which I probably need to stop doing that, sometimes I don't get them cut all the way, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, and then they'll repeat the same thing over and over after you fail. I'm like, oh my god, it's so stupid. Fuck this bullshit.
Because I'm trying to remember who you have a rebuttal with in this one, but isn't it like Nekomaru for some reason?
Sure, I don't know. I
I
can't
know.
tell you.
All I know is I remember one of them. I kept hearing them repeat it over and over, and I was like, "Why can't I do it?" I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like you said. You have to use certain number of swipes to cut them.
Yeah.
And what I was doing is I was cutting with more than different areas of the words.
Sure.
I realized I need to cut them all at the same time.
Yeah.
Or wait for the other ones to come on screen so I could slice across and hit both of them at the same time. Because I would slice one and then another, but by then I'd lost some sharpness.
Yeah.
So I would wait for two of them to appear and then cut both to save that for the other words. So.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But it's not that offensive.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Now, I heard you arguing earlier about improved Hangman's Gambit and how you hate
Oh
it.
God. Okay, I know I'd said in the first one, it's like, oh, I'm pretty good at this. This isn't that bad.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Oh my God, it started getting way harder. Like there's so many more words flowing on screen really fast, running into each other, and I would screw it up. And because in the first one I'd gone, trying to be perfect about the whole thing.
The first chapter, yeah.
The first chapter, and this one I don't say how it's even possible because
It's probably not possible.
yeah, because like how do you do this without
Screwing up.
Screwing up?
Yeah.
Luckily, it doesn't take a lot of damage, but
Yeah.
it starts adding up fast though if you let it.
Sure, I guess.
And the words, I'm still mad that you don't really know what to pick. Like on the
What was
words.
the word this time? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I forgot what it was, but it was a long word.
Yeah.
I remember that, and it's like two words, separate words,
Yeah.
and you're having to frantically pick out which one and hoping it connects, and you were like, okay, now I know.
It's pretty easy just to guess and does this letter work? Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, I move on to the next level. Does that letter work? Okay, move on to the next letter.
It's still annoying though.
You still take a lot of damage, but you just retry that section. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So whatever.
It's still a stupid ass mini game. It has not improved at all since the last game.
No, not at all.
Well, you wouldn't know because you didn't play it. But
Well, I'm gonna take your word for it because I can just tell.
I don't remember if
it's
that was in the
terrible.
anime or not. But
No.
all right, here's a new thing they added to this trial system in Chapter 2. The Logic Dive, in which you snowboard in Tron World. It's like
Yeah.
Saints Row 3 in here.
Yep.
Or whatever, war driving.
Okay, in this chapter, since we're talking about Chapter 2 right now,
Yeah.
wasn't that bad because the answers and stuff. What they do is when you're going down there, you have to pick a decision on which to the question, and you got a ski board or snowboard, I guess you could say,
Yep.
to the right side to pick the answer you want.
Yeah.
And the answers are pretty obvious to
Yeah.
me in this one, and it was really easy to scoot over and get to it because you can slow down,
Yeah.
stop, or jump,
Yeah.
and there wasn't really like a lot of difficult jumps or turning or
Not
anything in
yet.
this one. Not yet.
Wait till later in the game, man.
Yeah, we'll talk. I experienced it starts getting harder, but I'm sure it gets worse from what you play.
It's not that the Logic Dive isn't that big of a deal because
Yeah.
it's mainly just action elements, and you choose the question. If you get it wrong, you just try it again. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it has like a little heart
Yeah.
beater in the corner for your life.
I
and
don't
stuff.
even remember that part.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. But I like it. It was pretty fun, for what it is so far.
I
but
guess it's still a stupid,
it's still pointless.
arbitrary bullcrap for And you also complained about new things in the panic talk action. Apparently, is what the rhythm game is called.
Oh yeah, I know.
You don't even remember what it was.
I know there's something about like the.
They had to be reloading or something to it.
Well, I think that's in Chapter 3.
Oh, okay.
Where they add bullets and stuff like that. Where you have to get ammunition to shoot back at them.
Yeah.
To redo it, but I think in this one they added it to where they can you have that slowdown.
Sure.
And they can kind of
it's like overdrive or something.
yeah, like an
It's
overdrive.
star power.
Yeah, star power. And they can mess with you too, and they can do
Yeah.
it as well and screw
Sure.
you up on the rhythm.
Stupid.
And God, the rhythm game is still really annoying because I know who the killer is. I don't want to do this.
Do you know what they called this rhythm game in the first game?
Don't remember.
In the English version, they called it Bullet Time Battle.
Bullet Time Battle.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think in the fan translation or the Japanese version, it's like machine gun talk or something like that.
Actually, I kind of like the sound of that, but whatever.
I saw someone on Twitter saying that they were surprised that Doggone Wrestling didn't have a reference to the Bullet Club and call it the Truth Bullet Club. That sounds like a really good idea. I'm gonna make those T-shirts.
I think you need to now.
I'm gonna make some Truth Bullet Club T-shirts.
Yeah, I think that's a thing now.
Anyway, yeah, those fucking mini games are bullshit.
Yeah.
They're gonna continue to get more bullshit.
And I will give my opinion on each one too if I find something else that annoys me. So.
All right, so let's move on.
Sounds good.
Anything else you want to talk about when it comes to chapter 2?
Gosh, not that I can really remember. There's nothing as important that I can recall. But is there anything you got?
No, we covered everything on my notes, I think.
Cool. Well, I'm ready to talk about chapter 3 next time we do this because I was a little more fresh in my mind.
Okay.
And I might be able to give a little better input instead of getting confusing my words here.
All right, sure. Well, that has been the Danganronpa Spoilercast for Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, Chapter 3, whatever the name of this chapter is called. So, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's cool. We'll be back with another podcast soon, maybe. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Of Chapter 3. And, I don't know, do we have like a motto or something we talk about at the end of these podcasts?
A model?
A motto.
A motto.
You're like, keep on rolling or some dumb bullshit like that.
Oh, God.
That's a cool, don't let despair hit you on the way out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Knock you on the ass.
Watch Doggone Wrestling. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll just pitch our your other channel and videos.
What do people say? Like, subscribe, share, whatever
comment.
They say. click on that big
favorite
thumbs up button and tell everyone to watch Doggone Wrestling. Go on Tumblr and be like, yo, check this shit out, Doggone Wrestling. Oh yeah, I'll go. Also our podcast too, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever.
of course.
We're using new microphones because I left my microphones.
Yeah, these are pretty bitchin'.
We're using Rock Band USB
Band
microphones.
So.
Well, actually, mine's a Rock Band microphone. His is a
Konami.
Yeah, probably some karaoke revolution thing. Actually, I think mine's a Boogie microphone. I don't know.
Boogie?
Yeah.
Oh, the dancing the rhythm game?
Mine just says EA on it. It didn't say Rock Band on it.
I got the Hideo Kojima
yours just says
microphone.
Konami. Yeah, it's a Metal Gear microphone.
We should have Snake do the podcast in the Snake voice.
No, David Hayter's dead, man.
Oh,
yeah, he died. He's dead forever.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess this is a signing off then.
Yep.
Is this how we're doing it?
Yep. So watch Doggone Wrestling. Tell everyone about everything that's cool I'm doing because whatever. Who cares?
Yeah. So don't get shit on and see you later.
Yep.
That's my catchphrase.
Okay, fine. Go away.
Bye.
Bye.